it is possible, and there are lots of benefits to preserving forests. My uncle was very involved in Project Tiger, and we have all these national parks. People are trying to damage national parks for the sake of development. I don't think that is a good idea. Let's have development, but without damaging the national parks, and let's try and monetize national parks. Tourism, we all have gone on tiger safaris. Tourism is a very good way of monetizing a national park. Also, there are forest products. In our industry, we used to use sal oil, mawa oil, karanj oil, and there are new developments which makes, there's a company called Terviva that makes karanj oil edible. So there are lots of ways of monetizing biodiversity, but we must be very careful that we preserve the biodiversity while we monetize it. And in India, one thing that we have found is that compulsory CSR has helped us on our journey of sustainability. And I have something to say on that. In India, mandated CSR can help us go very far. Multiple benefits are what one sees with water projects or growing trees. Good livelihoods are created, our carbon emissions are abated, trees planted at a river source maintain the flow throughout its course. So many benefits we can see. The preservation of biodiversity, different species can be tried, useful products can be supplied, like biomass or edible fruits, and yet the trunk and the roots can sequester carbon, clean the air, a win-win that is very fair. So while we decarbonize, why not also monetize? So never fall for either or. Our hearts and minds demand much more. You're going to have a hard time getting me to sacrifice. I think more and more people are getting conscious about it, and it's our job in fora like these to push them into it. And thanks to Paul Polman, way back in 2014, we became members of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. There are several Indian companies, and the WBCSD is here. I'm meeting them for lunch at my office, and they have a dinner in PKC this evening as well. And they would like to try and get everyone involved. And to solve this problem, we need a lot of collaboration. Collaboration with our suppliers, sometimes collaboration with our competitors, to set up platforms that can make our suppliers sustainable, because we share suppliers with many other competitors. So organizations like this can help us do this without sacrificing too much. I think we all need to speak up. And many other cities have solved this problem. There are clear-cut solutions, both for vehicle pollution, construction pollution. In fact, there are rules for construction pollution. And a newspaper a few weeks ago reported that they went to government construction sites and found that they were not obeying the rules. And a week later, they reported that suddenly they started obeying the rules. So we all need to wake up. And there are lots of stakeholders in Mumbai who should push for this. And many cities solved it. Way back in the 70s, Los Angeles solved it. Beijing, 10 years ago or 15 years ago had a severe problem, and they solved it. So why can't Delhi and Mumbai and other Indian cities solve it? The solutions are fairly simple. The problem is that, as you said, there's no one clear-cut authority who can solve it. But there are many problems that need collaboration, and we have solved them in the past. And I'm hopeful that we'll solve this one too. But we should all push for it. We need to solve it. It's very costly to lose lots of lives to pollution when we can easily solve it.
Yeah. Agenda forward.
I would think that local government would be, and one of the problems of India is we don't have very stable local government. Local government is often not elected. Now, Delhi is a state, so I can't say that, but Mumbai, the Maharashtra government runs Mumbai. So there are organizations in Mumbai, So perhaps for a city like Mumbai, it's the Maharashtra government that needs to get serious about it. The Mumbai Municipal Corporation should also be working on it. The two should be working together. And construction is a big problem. So all construction companies should try and do their best. A lot of us in business are trying to be very sustainable, setting ourselves targets. There's a little bit of greenwashing going on, but most of us are sticking to it. We are getting international certification, and those certification standards are pretty good. So I think business can solve it, the local governments can solve it, the state governments can solve it. One very good example of cooperation in India was GST. Yeah. We need something like GST for general governance as well. States and center are constantly fighting, but in GST they seem to always agree. Yes. Now, Mahatma Gandhi wasn't thinking about climate change, but he was thinking of economic development when we said we have enough for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed. So there's an argument to make that we can be happier with less consumption. There's no doubt that there is some truth to that. But it is possible for everyone to consume at the level of the middle class today and not aggravate climate change, provided we have a carbon price and we have either a carbon tax that's uniform all over the world. It's not going to be a big burden because we can always reduce some other tax. Once we have something like that, we can have everyone consume a lot and solve this problem because there are technical solutions. But we also need economic innovation. And the simplest one is a carbon price of either kind. It could be based on constraints or it could be based on a tax. If we have that, we can solve it without consuming less. We can also consume the same amount of actual goods, but take care of issues such as packaging. We have a lot of wasteful packaging. Yeah. We can cut down on that. And I have a short poem on that. Sustainability is at the Godrej core. Products and packaging are at the fore. Concentrates are one way to go. Environmental benefits steadily flow. As there's good reduction in cost, profitability isn't lost. Magic hand wash was the start. A 7-gram sachet played its part. In plastic reduction, we succeeded. Only 10% was actually needed. And indeed, hand wash isn't all. On cleaners and body wash, we took a call. With refillable bottles, it's understood the plastic savings are very good. Label-free bottles are a clever wheeze. Recycling becomes a matter of ease. Our plastic intensity has been reduced. Much less plastic is now used. 23% reduction since 2018. A significant change has been seen. A different game can be played if our plastics biodegrade. Our dairy business found it pays if we replace MLP trays with sturdy compostable packing. Such innovations we are constantly tracking. Thanks to our sustainability stance, CII has given us grants. We will work on recycling innovation. This will improve the situation. Many benefits can be seen. Our waterways will be clean. In achieving our sustainability goal, manufacturing techniques play a role.